Hello, everybody. How's it going? Fernando here with El Tri Online on another Mexican soccer podcast. But before we get started, let me remind you guys to subscribe to our YouTube channel as well as to follow us on all social media accounts like Twitter, Twitch, Facebook, Instagram, you know it, all of that good stuff. Today with me joining is El Super Mojado. ¿Cómo andamos, Super?
What's up? What's up, Fernando? How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great. I'm doing great. How about you with all the Chivas situation? They didn't play
Nada.
this during the week, did they?
No, they're not playing. They're playing tomorrow, but that's
Ya se
for week
cansaron.
week 10.
Ok,
Week
ya se
10 and
cansaron de
and
perder.
they're gonna postpone that. They postponed their game against Tigres to, I think, like oh man, I forgot the date, but it's like 2 weeks from now.
Ok, sounds good. Un descansito de las Chivas. Y tenemos el placer de tener hoy a Don Ramón. ¿Cómo andamos? ¿Cómo andamos, Don Ramón?
Hey, what's up, everybody? Yeah, thanks for having me back on the show. It's been a while, so I'm happy to be here.
It's happy to have you here. Well, let's get started. So, breaking news. What do you guys think about El Tecatito and his injury? How is that gonna affect El Tri?
Well, hey, Del Tri hasn't been doing much with or without Tecatito lately, so you know, I don't know. I think he's a good player, but he's un jugador muy fugaz. You know, he disappears. He gives you one good game, he disappears five more, and so I think we have other players that probably could just fit right in, like Vega. That's the opportunity that Vega was waiting for.
Yeah, it's well. First of all, what the hell is going on in the Sevilla's training session for him to break his fibula and throw all those ligaments? That's one question I have for Lapategi, because that's an insane practice to have, and for him to be out injured during a practice like that, it's insane. That's my first question. Second, it's tough, man. I woke up today and I heard the news, and like Super saying, I don't think Tecatito ever fulfilled his promise of the player that he was supposed to be. He's shown flashes. He's definitely shown at the international stage that he can be that player that can change the rhythm of a game. Pero I don't think if he's that guy, right now I would honestly, if you put Alexis Vega over him, I wouldn't question it. I feel like Alexis Vega has been playing really well this tournament. I guess at least in Liga MX, and what you can also do is you can put on the right side and Alexis Vega on the left side, and switch between those two. So that would be my pick to replace Tecatito. It's obviously a tough loss for him, being months away from the World Cup, and I knew something like that was going to happen. It was either going to be Raúl Jiménez or Chucky and Tecatito, El Tridente as they call it. It's not. It's just. It's never going to happen, man. I think we should just move on from it.
Don Flamingo aquí te anda diciendo que te pareces al Spider-Man. Super here out here looking like Spider-Man.
No way home.
I've never seen a blue Spider-Man, but okay. Yeah, I don't think the Tecatito was his best version of himself at this very moment. So of course it hurts to see one of our own players get hurt like that. But I don't think he was such an essential part of the team at this very moment. Definitely, there's other players that could fulfill that role. I think maybe Linus, in my opinion, could be a good option. I don't know about you, Super. Who do you think could take over that spot?
Well, I gave you my pick. I think Vega is it's the player that has been lifting, or raising his hand, I should say, lately. Así que, unfortunately, that's not the way you want to earn a spot, right, in the starting lineup. But we have seen this happen before, where players get injured and then somebody that possibly was just in the cuerda floja that whether we make it to the list or not, and then they end up doing a good job. So hopefully this is the case. And I hear a lot of people asking for Carlos Vela. What do you guys think about that?
I don't know. I think someone from ESPN today just put a video or some of the comentaristas that they have. They're like, Carlos Vela, come home. This is the time for you to come back. And so I don't agree with
Yeah.
it. Carlos Vela, just stay where you're at. You're fine at LAFC. You're enjoying your life. You got Bale. You got Chiellini. You're winning with LAFC. It's okay. Leave Mexico alone. I don't think they need him. Honestly, I don't think he wants to come back. And so why continue to knock at that door? You know what I'm saying? So, um, there was someone that tweet. I'm trying to find the tweet right now, but they suggested who was it? Pizarro. Who else was it?
Well, Pizarro was already in the list, but I don't
Antuna,
think it's the
Orbelin,
best.
or Pizarro. Those were the three candidates, according to the David Medrano from TV Azteca, that
I,
were in
I
line to replace.
I think out of those three would be Orbelin could be the best option. I don't think
I think so
Pizarro
too.
has what it takes to
No.
be a starter.
But the thing of it is that I don't think any of those three is in a time where you're like, oh, yeah, maybe he's not gonna in- n- o sea, las cosas bien. They're right now a time in their career where it's not going well for them.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
I think
I agree with Luis right here. It should be Alejandro Sendejas from America. He's the one that's playing at the best right now. We just saw him play against Pachuca yesterday in that great win from Club America. So I don't know, but we all know Tata has his favorites. We know how it is. It's like they already probably have the Panini picture already printed out and stuff. So there's no way that they're going to change it now. So
The
I
thing
don't
is
like.
that
Yeah, go ahead.
yeah, with Tata, there's no logical explanation. He's gonna uh, do something really unexpected, and he's gonna end up putting somebody that nobody agrees with. That's just what El Tata has shown to do. And I super mentioned Bella being an option of coming back to the Seleccion, but does this open up a spot for Chicharito? Is this another opportunity that Chicharito might have been looking for?
yeah, nah, I think that that story is sealed. I think that we know what's gonna happen. Tata is not gonna bring either Chicharito or Vela. I don't think Tata's gonna take them. But you know, it- I if as a Chicharito supporter, I would say, yeah. I mean, he could be a good option, but I really see it. I really doubt that that will happen.
Why not? Chicharito and Ochoa hugged and they had a conversation in the field. They look
Met
like
up in
best
the All
friends
Star
out
game.
there.
I see. Did you guys notice? Like Chicharito's trying to talk to Hector Herrera. He's talking to
Did,
Ochoa. He's like, hey,
did
if
you
you
see
need
the
someone, I'm here.
phony though? The really phony, I don't know. I guess expressions that they had in in their face. I mean,
Yeah, I mean
that was like uncomfortable moment.
it didn't look like an honest conversation.
Nah,
It did
no,
feel awkward. But hey, I
yeah,
mean,
because what they were doing. They were just adjusting the knives on their backs. That's all. That's
Oh
all it
man.
was.
so Ramon, you did mention earlier that what's going on, right? A lot of the players are getting hurt. Jimenez, Funes Mori, they're both dealing with injuries, even though they're not completely uh, pushed aside for the World Cup. But Mexico is dealing with a lot of injuries, and it's something that we see not only in Mexico but in all of the teams prior to the World Cup. People just start getting hurt left and right, and it sucks that for Mexico right now there's three players who are injured. What do you think in regards to Jimenez and Funes Mori, Ramon? Do you think they're gonna get better just in time?
Well, Jimenez, we got to be honest. He hasn't been the same ever since he had that injury a couple of years ago with that head injury with David Luis. He hasn't been playing his best. I don't think Wolves, the team itself, has been helping him a lot. They've been selling a lot of players as well, and so it. I don't think he's coming in at the best, or at least what we were hoping he would be at this point in time, from what we saw a couple of years ago. Now Funes Mori, yeah, he's coming back from injury. I'm not sure. I still wasn't really convinced by his stint with the national team. I think there's better options, especially Henry Martin right now scoring all the goals that he's doing. He wants to go to Qatar. Henry Martin wants to go. You saw him, he scored against Manchester United, Manchester City, Real Madrid. This guy's on fire right now. He wants to go to Qatar and be part of the World Cup. And when you have a striker like that, you have to take him. There's no questions about, oh, I don't know, maybe he'll do this. We know strikers are mercurial. They'll get on a hot streak, and when you have that guy, you have to take advantage of it. So right now, if I'm Tata, that's who I would be taking. But you have Santi Jimenez, who also just transferred to Europe. He's getting some playing time over there. But I don't know. I think clear cut number 9 is going to be Raul Jimenez. That's going to be the centerpiece for Tata's attack. But when it comes to substitutes, is it Funes Mori? Is it going to be Henry Martin? I think he's only going to take 3 strikers. I don't think he's taking any more than that. So right now it's between Funes Mori, Henry Martin, and Santi Jimenez. So we'll see. We'll see what happens.
How about you, Super? Do you think your favorite striker Funes Mori is gonna be good just in time?
I hope
What do you
not, but
think about the other injuries?
no, I think they're gonna end up going. We've seen now how Tata Tata's favorites are, right. So I just think that that's not gonna change, even though if they're a little tocados. I think he's gonna end up taking them, and I mean, Monterrey is doing good right now, so hopefully this guy, even if even if I don't like him being on the pitch, you know, possibly he could do good things for La Selección if he's in un buen momento, and he gets that like confidence with his team being playing good. Um, Jimenez, man, I hate to say it, but Jimenez it's just he's just done, man. He's not gonna be the same, and unfortunately for us, it would have been great if he didn't get injured, but now it's just sad what is going on with him, and even if he's like 100%, I still don't think that he's gonna do well.
Do you agree with Ramon that Henry Martin is gonna be the player?
you know there's times where players hit that little good moment and entran en ritmo, right, and everything les sale bien. So I wouldn't mind him being on as the first option for Tata. I wouldn't mind that. This guy he's a good player. He's tough. And lo que se le ve ahorita es hambre, and that's what we need, right? We need a
Mhm.
striker that has that hambre, that is willing to go in all the way and try to help the team.
Ojalá esa hambre no se le acabe antes de llegar al mundial. Right here tenemos a Don Flamingo. He's saying it pisses me off that Funes Mori can easily score for Monterrey, but can't do the same for Mexico. Do you think a lot has to do with the team that he has behind? Like maybe he's just used to Monterrey and he just no se acopla a la selección mexicana, or he's just a player that que funciona en equipos y no en selecciones. What is going on? Do you think he'll do better in the next few months?
But even with Monterrey, it's not. He's not like he has a lot of mistakes. He tiene oportunidades that no las concreta.
Yeah.
So I just think he's like that. He's just irregular. His career now is in a stage where he's coming to that final stage of his career. So it's
How old
just
is he? Isn't he like 33 or something? Or is that ya para ti ya es viejón, super?
no, pues ya pasó su mejor momento. Yeah, if you would have told me like I've been saying, uh, give me Funes Mori from like 8 years ago, I would have said sure.
I mean,
But
even 2 years ago, but we could say the same thing about Raul Jimenez. You know what I'm saying? So I think the striker position, it's gonna, as long as Raul is 100% by the time the World Cup starts, it's gonna be his position. So right now, you're basically just looking for a sub. Who's gonna be the sub? Is it gonna be Funes Mori, who kind of plays a little bit more like Raul Jimenez, or is it gonna be someone like Henry Martin, where he's just gonna be looking to poach, a loose ball? He's gonna try to, win the ball in the air. He's not gonna bring that dynamic kind of touch or that poste, kind of play that Raul Jimenez brings. So it's different, But sometimes, like I said, you just get that guy that's hot. We've seen Chicharito get hot and go on these like scoring streaks, but Henry Martin's the guy right now. So if it has to be him, I think I'm comfortable with that. And there's nobody else. If it's not gonna be Chicharito, there's literally nobody else. So
Yeah, no, you're right. You're right. Henry Martin has been doing good stuff. The problem now is que se nos están cayendo los soldaditos. It's y todavía faltan 3 meses. We're still 3 months away from the World Cup, and we're dealing with all these injuries. So cross our fingers that no other player gets badly injured like Tecatito. Anyway, changing the topic from la selección varonil a la femenil. Uh, they beat Germany 1-0. What do you guys think?
great game, great game. I think the ladies have been having a great World Cup, and I think it just speaks a lot to the current development of the women in Mexico. How now that they're investing, the teams are investing more money into these to the women's league, and actually caring about that. I think we're going to be seeing more and more of these results. I don't think this is the last time Mexico is going to meet someone like Germany. And if you look at the rest of their games against New Zealand, against Colombia, they held their own. They're quick in the attack. They're not a boring team to watch. They actually attack, and they press, and they're looking to take the game to the opponent. So it's great. It's great that they got this victory. I think it's a landmark victory. But now comes the real test. They're going to be playing Spain, who scored like 5 goals on one of the teams during their group stages. So it's going to be tough, But that's where you're going to see where the level is with Mexico.
Well, I haven't really been, watching much, but I've I've seen these girls improve, right? And getting more into it, getting more ahora sí que nivel competitivo. So I think Ramon, you're right. Now they're gonna face Spain, right? That it's gonna be a tougher opponent. I think as you go into the final stages, it gets harder and harder. So I think that even if their if their World Cup ends in this next game, I think they están sacando la casta. There's están mejorando. So
Mhm.
it's not those that Mexico team that it se llevaba goleadas y de todos los equipos. So it's
Yeah, no, and,
especially
and that's what I really like. When you see that they tied with New Zealand during their first game, they got a 0-0 draw with Colombia, which they could have won, and then they got that victory against Germany. And so I think this is great to see, especially after the senior women's team did not even get a point when they were trying to qualify for the World Cup of next year. So I think this is good, and it's just an improvement. So hopefully they can continue going.
Yeah, it's definitely a good victory. It's just gonna help them not only soccer wise but mentally. So they're on a good momentum right now, going into the game against Spain, and we just gotta keep an eye out for them. They're out there accomplishing great things, and I do think it has a lot to do with what they're doing in Mexico. They're putting more importance into the women's league.
Mhm.
The games are finally being streamed on TV. They focus a lot on their growth and everything that's going on. So let's hope that Mexico as a league continues with that, and que le siga dando oportunidad a las mexicanas. I think some rules changed on how many girls could come from outside of Mexico. So we'll see how that goes. Just really happy that that's going on for the girls. We also have a shout out for Agustin, that he's the one that won the jersey a few episodes back. Thank you, El Trio Online, for the jersey. Looks great in person. Thank you, Agustin, for participating.
Yeah,
And
that looks good.
yeah, we're glad you liked it. It does look really good.
Yeah,
It
I
does
just
look
got mine
really
right
good.
now too. So I'm gonna be, hopefully next time you guys invite me, I'm wearing my Mexican jersey. And actually, they started wearing it during the games with the ladies. So it looks really good on screen. I like it on television. It looks really good.
If I'm not mistaken, they're also going to put out a second uniform, right? Like we're still waiting on that.
I
And
think
I
so.
I mean
think
I
it's a
want to
white
see
one,
that. I want to
or
see.
I
was it
like
a
the
white one?
eggshell one. It was like an eggshell color with like a little maroon. I like that one as a second one. But any jersey that they put out is gonna be way better than the US one. Did you guys see the pictures of those?
I
I
did
did
not see
not
the
see that.
U.S.
Yeah,
I
you
did
guys
not.
look them up. It looks like the 2002 World Cup kit. It's just white, like bland. It sucks. Bad stuff from Nike there for the US.
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, I got to see that and see how bad those are because the Mexico ones are really nice. I was hoping they'll have like a burgundy, but I'm happy with the green one and the white one. Well, we're gonna go on break, and we'll be right back. Welcome back, everybody. How's it going? If you guys are just joining us, Fernando Garcia here, and we're joined by El Super Mojado and Don Ramon Chavez. Welcome back, everybody. Super. Las Chivas finally scored at home. How are you feeling?
No manches. Hey, it's por siguen por la calle de la amargura. They're still, the same team. Nothing has changed. They haven't seen a victory so far this tournament. So, you know, hey, it's just reality, right? Reality of a team that tiene demasiados problemas. It's not just on the pitch. Es afuera también. El dinero no está ahí. And las decisiones que se toman también para reforzar el equipo, they're not the best, they're not the greatest. I mean, they brought a player, they pay how much money they pay for a guy eh, eh, to come sit on the bench, so it's unfortunate, man. Y
Yeah,
luego
who are you
es
talking? Are you talking about Mozo?
Ormeño.
Ormeño? Well, I've seen him play.
Yeah, but he's just comes in here and there, and listen, but that's his reality though. That he just had a great moment with Puebla, and then after that he just disappeared.
So
Disappeared. Con León no
I,
hizo nada. So
I take that
that's
you're
what I'm
not
saying.
satisfied with Ormeño at all.
I'm not, and it doesn't even matter if I'm satisfied or not. It's the coach. He's not satisfied with what he sees on the practice. That's why he doesn't go as a starter. You know, he he has to show. He has opportunities to score, and then he just las falla. Entonces no hay esa contundencia it's not just Ormeño, right? I guess maybe it's se contagia, right? Hay un problema más grave que Ormeño. It's just that they can't win, they can't score, they can't win. Look at that. You're telling me, oh, this is week. What was that? 7, 8. What was that? What was the jornada that
I
they
think it
played?
was
It's
7.
I can't I don't even know what jornada we're in anymore because they played jornada 16, jornada 9, jornada 8.
Nine.
It's still
It's everywhere.
it's all over the place right now. They're still playing 9, right? And so it's crazy, man. I just think, like I said, es Ormeño no fue una solución, and exactly. Even El Chavo de Pumas is just he's not showing anything. Anything
Yeah,
in anything
I don't.
anything more than El Conejito Brizuela was offering you, you know? Because I think they're the same position.
I think the signing of Ormeño kind of speaks to how desperate this team is to find someone to kind of give them that spark. I don't think Ormeño is that great of a striker to bring in for that price tag. When you have someone like Vega, you have a Nene Beltran, you have Mozo, which is arguably one of the best right back in Mexican soccer last year and last season in Liga MX, and you have him on the bench. That means that there's a problem with the coach and the system and not the player, because that player was one of the best players, and the teams in Europe were looking for him, and now you have him on the bench on the team that's not winning. That's
Who
that's
who
incredible. So that
who did
just
you
speaks
say?
to what's going on with Chivas. And I don't agree. I agree with it at all. Me being an Americanista, I love this that they're going through it, but it's sad for Mexican soccer because that means that the cantera is not working. That means the Amauri doesn't know what he's doing with this team. Peláez doesn't know what he's doing with this team, and it's just sad. It's sad to see. And then as far as the striker, and I'll end on this, they had Ronaldo Cisnero. They let him go to Atlanta United over there in MLS, and he's scoring goals over there, and you weren't giving him the opportunity over here in Chivas. So tell me what's the problem when that happens? When you have a player that leaves, starts scoring goals elsewhere, and you're looking for goals in your own team. That means that there's something wrong with the management.
I
Mira,
think
el
that's a
mismo
common problem
Sendejas
that
estaba en Chivas.
Hmm.
I think that's a common
So,
problem that Chivas has. They have a lot of their players in their bench. They end up selling them, se deshacen de ellos, and whenever they go to that team, to that other team, they become starters. They do great. One example for me is este muchacho que Mayorga. I think he was a great player. Estuvo en los Pumas, starter, regresó a las Chivas, borrado, and then they give him up again, goes to Cruz Azul, and he's a starter. In my opinion, El Chino Huerta is a great player. Um, I don't know why they didn't even give the opportunity to him in Chivas. So I think you're right. It's a coach problem. It's a team problem, and at the end of the day, I think Mozo and all these players are not end up not getting the opportunity they deserve. So I mean, super. Hopefully the Chivas start doing good again. I mean, their last option was to give a free admission to the stadium.
That's
Vas
what I
a
was
ir?
going to say. We should all get our tickets and our flights. I mean, and just go down there
listen,
without free
man,
tickets.
that was just something that I wanted to do it. I ended up paying for the whole admission to everybody. So you're welcome.
Gracias, super.
Pues, pues a ver si así les ayuda. I know at this point it doesn't matter to compare, but do you think that if Macias would not have gotten hurt, would that have been a better option than Ormeño? Would this whole situation would have been different?
Well, yes. I think Chivas had two key players, right? That was somewhat having the team in a better spot in the past couple tournaments, right? Macías y también Angulo, right? Angulo, I think, is one of the best contrataciones the best contratación de Ricardo Peláez. So he got injured last tournament. So, and unfortunately, he's just finally, I think, he joined the team. He is going to um, at least travel with the team para enfrentar a Necaxa. So that's good news. And then Macias, hey, he was coming back, and then finally was getting a little traction, and then he gets the injury that puts him out for the whole tournament. So those two key players, I think, would have made the difference. Yes, I think so.
Yeah, Angulo is one of those players that he's not going to necessarily stand out with the team. He's not going to be a superstar, but he's the guy that puts in the work. And so you saw it during the Olympics when he was playing with Mexico that he did really well on the pitch. He's not going to get the accolades. He's not going to be shouted out on social media, but he's going to be the guy that's going to be doing the work, the dirty work on the field. And you need one of those guys. And so when Chivas loses him, along with Macias, who was just kind of picking back up the steam after his unsuccessful stint in Spain, it's tough, and I understand that, but I still feel Chivas has a great team. They have Chicote Calderon, like I said, Mozo, Brizuela, Vega, Nene Beltran. So this isn't a bad team. It's just not clicking. If you look at the stats, I think they have their XG for goals is 15, and they've only scored 5 this season. And so when it's 9 weeks into the season, there's only 18 weeks in the season. I think the alarms are ringing now because even though 12 teams can make the playoffs, I don't know if Chivas is going to make it.
Do you still have hope, Super?
Listen, they it's not about hope. I just think that I'm realistic, and it's así para qué? ¿Para qué ir?
Igual y,
Mejor
igual y dan la
que se
sorpresa,
vayan de
despierten.
vacaciones mejor.
All right, let's look at the results for the jornada número 9. So, on Tuesday, Mazatlán empató contra Querétaro, un Querétaro que ya está más muerto que vivo. They're last place with a lot of problems, a lot of issues, and I just don't see them waking up. And Atlas, el campeón, vuelve a perder 1-0 against Juárez. Puebla, Necaxa, they tie. Both of those teams are fighting for a spot in fourth place. Toluca and Monterrey, los de hasta arriba de la tabla, they tie 1-1. This is a surprise. Tijuana beats Cruz Azul 2-1. Tijuana has been doing a great job this tournament. I think they're gonna make it at least to the repechaje. And Don Ramon, America wins
That's right.
again, 3-0. They're
3-0.
finally waking up. And well, right now, ahorita está el de Santos contra León. Santos is actually winning 2-1. And al ratito, en media hora, empieza San Luis contra Pumas. A ver si los Pumas por fin despiertan. Who knows? Aquí tenemos a Flamingo. Henry Martin has the same amount of goals as in entirety of Chivas this season. And to think that Henry Martin was an option for Chivas, and all of the Chivas fans, they were like, no, he's not good.
Okay.
We're not gonna accept another Americanista here in the team.
We'll get the Peruvian over here. Give me a break.
maybe Henry Martin would have been a difference if he would have gone to Chivas. Maybe right now Chivas would have been higher up in the table. But what do you guys think about Tijuana? They're to me, it's a complete surprise. They haven't been doing good in the past 2 to 3 years. They didn't start off this tournament doing good either, and all of a sudden they win like 3 games in the last 2 weeks, and against Cruz Azul. So what do you guys think about Tijuana?
Se escucharon los balazos, ¿no? That's why le metieron ganas.
Se espantaron.
Oh man. No, I wasn't able to watch this game, but it's good. I think one of them was a known goal as well from Cruz Azul from one of the mellizos, right? Funes Mori mellizos.
Yeah. Well,
that didn't help, but
he came on fire, man, scoring even on his goal too.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't watch the game either. I did see the highlights, and there was a play, I think que le anularon un gol a Cruz Azul because it was offside, and they put the replay. To me, it wasn't offside. And I don't know if you guys watched the Toluca against Cruz Azul where they gave a red card to Jurado. I think Cruz Azul in the last 2 games has been affected by the VAR. I don't know about you guys. Are you guys happy with what's going on with the VAR, or what's your opinion on that whole situation?
Andan en el bar, los árbitros andan en el bar nada más, and that's what happens,
Did you guys see the play with Jurado?
From el bar to el bar, of course they're gonna make wrong decisions.
Now, okay, so let me ask you as this though. So if the ref had seen the play and he just gave him a yellow card because he did stomp on him, would that be okay with you? Was it the fact that it was a red and not maybe like a yellow card that really upset you guys?
Well, I think it was the fact that it was part of the play. I mean, even though he stepped on him, I don't. Where else is he gonna land? That's my whole situation, and I've seen those plays happen over and over in La Liga MX where it's just part of the play, where the play is going by so fast that the player steps on somebody else's foot unintentionally, and like you said, it probably should have been a yellow card. but at the end of the day, it's a red card and a PK that I don't think should have been a PK. And at the end
Mhm.
of the day, it costs the game to Cruz Azul or the tie because it was
No,
two
they
two.
lost.
Well, yeah, because of that, because of that, right? Because of the PK.
Yeah.
But who
What
knows?
do
I
you think,
mean,
Steve?
I wouldn't have called it. I mean, you're right. He came out for the ball and he was in the air and yeah, unfortunately he hits the player. But that's kind of like one of the things that the goalies have that little advantage, right? That they can go sometimes and they can go hard and they have to protect themselves. They sometimes they have to put their leg in front of them in case they don't so they don't get hurt.
Mhm.
Sometimes they go out and punch the ball out, and they take the player with them. So that's part of the game. I mean, you can't judge those as. I don't think there was bad intentions. So it was just
Yeah, no, and I agree that I agree with that too. I don't think he had the intention of hurting him. He did step on him, but you could
yeah.
also say that about a tackle in the middle of the field. Sometimes you slide, you're getting full ball, but te llevas al otro, and you still get a yellow card or even a red. So what's the difference between that and this? Does that make sense? Is it just the fact that it's a keeper? So I think it's just a little hipocresía, what do they call it? So it's weird. But one thing I really do like that they would implement is maybe if they actually show the conversation between the main ref on the field, and whoever's in charge of the VAR. If you guys ever watch rugby, whenever there's a question or a call like that, they're communicating, and the audience and everybody else is able to hear their conversation and their thought process. Does that make sense? I think that puts a little bit more pressure on the ref and the VAR team to get it right. So that way we don't have situations like this. Because otherwise, you make the ref look bad, you make the league look bad, and then ultimately, teams like Cruz Azul and the other teams, they get affected by this. So I don't think it's right. But that's one change that I would like to see.
Yeah, but then you eliminate that, morbo.
yeah, yeah. I mean, you'll definitely be exposing the stupidity of the refs because they're. I mean, and their mediocridad. You'll expose not
Yeah.
only the refs but the Liga MX. But changing it to a more happy topic, at least for you, Ramon. America uh, wins how many games in a row? Three,
Well, we're
or,
going
or
there. Yeah, let me
and I
see here.
mean
I think it's one or two. Definitely at
two.
least two. Yeah, let me see.
Pero
Yeah,
ya,
one.
ya, ya se están enrachando, ¿no?
Yeah.
They're finally waking up from that little slump that they had at the beginning of the season, just like last season.
Yeah.
And I mean, les tocó despertar contra Pumas. What do you
Yeah.
think
No,
about that game?
no, it was good. It was a good game. I think America really wanted to win. The amount of talent that team has, they have to win those sort of games. I'm not saying that Pumas is a bad team, but they just
It's a
came off.
horrible team.
I want to be nice. But yeah, we saw that they played against Barcelona, and that's not good. Even with Dani Alves in the team now, I think and they need a lot more work and maybe a little bit more help on the field. But America, that's we all know that's how they can play with the amount of talent that they have. Cabecita, Henry, Sendejas, Valdez, Fidalgo. Like I can go on and on and on. And even though they lost Jorge Sanchez, they still have Lara that can fill in and develop in that space as well on the defensive side. So America's scary, man. I think the games against like Real Madrid and Manchester City, I think it kind of gave a little bit of confidence to the team, saying, "Hey, if we can hang with these guys, we can beat any team in Liga MX." And I think they're showing it on the field.
I think that's why it was such a surprise that for the first 7 games,
Hmm.
America wasn't functioning correctly because I mean, even someone like Super who tries to deny that America is good, I think he's also able to say that team is a really strong team. It's packed with great players, and
No, it's luck.
but yeah, I mean, se tardaron un poquito. I think this team is better built than last season's team, and during last season they made it to the semifinals. So I think America's a strong candidate for this season. They finally woke up, and like you said, I think the 3 games against European teams really helped. Um,
And we
That's,
on
I mean,
Liga MX, it's not about winning the first 3 games of the season. It's about winning during the playoffs. So as long as you can get into the playoffs and you're doing good and you're in a good streak, you can definitely go on a good run and get the championship.
explícale eso a Super, because he's like, si vamos a pasar así, ¿para qué? But he doesn't understand that, hey,
Get hot
it's
at
at the
the right
last, el último es el que
Listen,
cuenta,
man.
Super, el
I
último.
I just think that they got Papita for the last two games. And with Pachuca they got a red card. Early on the match, so I wouldn't jump celebrate just yet.
Sí.
Let's see them play against the top ranking teams,
Yeah, Cruz
and then
Azul
we'll
this
judge them
weekend.
then.
He's denying it. I'm
Well,
telling you,
I said
Ramon, he's
top
denying it.
ranking, man. Top ranking.
No te enojes, no te enojes.
We got Luis Bravo telling
Cruz
us that
Azul.
that
I just said les tocó papitas. Cruz Azul is the next too. I mean, papita otra vez.
we got Luis
So
Bravo telling us that America might add Brian Rodriguez from LAFC. I'm not too familiar with that player. I don't know if any of you guys are.
Yeah,
Uh,
Brian Rodriguez. He plays
he,
for LAFC. I think
he's not
he's a good
regular, no.
player. But I think LAFC is a loaded team. I don't know if you guys have been watching them this season, but they have so much talent on that team. It's crazy that even someone like Brian Rodriguez is not able to get that much playing time. I think maybe he's due for a change, but I don't know how much he can do in America. Like I said, you have Cabecita who's playing on the left wing. You have Henry Martin and then Sendejas. So who are you realistically taking off if they're playing well? So Brian Rodriguez is a good player. I wouldn't mind seeing him with America, and I know maybe with LAFC he's not going to get the most of the opportunities. So maybe it's time to move on.
is he Mexican?
No,
No,
Uruguayo.
Oh,
he's from.
oh.
Is he
Iba a decir,
Uruguay or?
si es mexicano, désenlo a las Chivas, pero no, he's not. He's not.
Yeah, de
Okay.
Uruguay. Uruguayo.
No, nosotros no agarramos migajas.
Well,
Oh,
super. You
never
guys need
mind.
all the South Americans. Ya tienen Perú, ¿quién sigue? Colombia,
Oh, that's
Uruguay.
right.
Keep it going.
That's
Ay, ay,
right.
ay, ay,
I'm
ay.
playing. I'm playing.
So moving on to the other side of the coin, we got Cruz Azul, who, even though we talked about the VAR, we can't really say that the VAR is the only reason why they don't win. Cruz Azul is on a third loss straight, and I mean, is it something normal that we're used to it, or did we think Cruz Azul was gonna change after their championship? Do you guys think is Cruz Azul
It's
gonna wake up,
it's
or
well, they have an okay team. I mean, they're in 16th place right now. Now facing America in the next game, they come definitely not in a good time. So if they get that fourth straight loss in a row, I mean, I just see it difficult to get back on track. Because remember, this tournament is just flying by, man. They have too many double jornadas, and doesn't really give you a lot of time to recoup.
Yeah, I
yeah?
think the fact that Santi Jimenez left as well, they just left a huge hole up top. Offensively, Santi Jimenez was doing a lot for them, and so for him to leave the team, I think they have to adjust. But that should have been on the coach. He knew that there were teams looking at him, and that the front office. So at this point, this is when Charlie Rodriguez, proves why he's being paid so much, and Antuna as well. Antuna, I think he missed one like right in front of goal, and that's one of the reasons I don't want him in the World Cup, because he's shown that he can't score. To me, he's just the guy that runs the wing and doesn't create good opportunities, doesn't create good passing. The crosses are 1 out of 5 he'll get him in the box, and then when he's in front of goal, he doesn't score. To me, I don't think Antuna's that great of a player, and he's shown it. He's shown it consistently, and so for him to be even mentioned as far as the World Cup roster, that's a bad move in
But he's one of Tata's favorites, man. He's one of Tata's favorites, so
no, he's
he's
terrible.
gonna go no matter what.
Are you happy he's not in Chivas anymore, Super?
No, I didn't mind him actually. He's a player that you need to polish, but I think that if he changes his ways, maybe he could be a better player. But I wouldn't mind him.
He had started pretty decently with Cruz Azul. I thought he was gonna be an important player for the team. I don't know what happened to him. He's falling back.
He's not
We
good.
also,
That's why.
yeah. Well, I mean, I wouldn't say he's bad, but
Yeah, that's true. Eli Vega.
¿Qué más? ¿Qué más? La
eh, pero
fiesta.
pero Vega, aunque sea fiestero, sí da resultados, o por lo
That's true.
menos un poquito más que Antuna.
That's true.
But we also got Toluca, who tied against what was it, Monterrey, and after a disastrous season last tournament, they're up there in the top four. Nice surprise from Toluca. Nacho Ambriz is doing the things
His
correctly.
magic. Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think a lot of has to do with the fact that he brought how many? What was it, like two players from Leon to his team? It was two players that he knew very well,
Mm-hmm.
and le cayó perfecto para llegar a Toluca. Do you guys think Toluca has a chance on taking the tournament?
Yeah, I mean, I think they started well. Leo Fernandez is a player that has been really great for Toluca. There's been it's been two times that he's been sent over to Tigres, and it just hasn't worked out. He's a talented player, doesn't work out with Tigres. I don't know why he keeps trying to go over there. It's not going to work out. So just play in Toluca. He's playing well this season, scoring goals. He got that goal this against Monterrey. So he's a player that loves playing in Toluca, and with Nacho Ambriz there in charge, it's going to be things can only get better. And we've seen how great Nacho kind of creates his teams and make sure that they're composed out there and that they take command of the game. So I'm happy to see him there. One of the other guys I do want to highlight though is Marcel Ruiz, which is a 21-year-old midfielder from Mexico who's been playing really well as well. So 21 years old, send him out to Europe. This is the time that you see a kid that has a little bit of promise, mándalo a Europa, la primera oferta, so that way they can get more playing time and get more experience over there.
Don Ramón aquí de este promotor.
So ojalá te hagan caso, Ramón.
Oh,
Because
everything, todos mandan.
that's definitely what Mexico needs. It is a problem where the teams don't want to let them go for cheap.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the whole issue that any player that wants to go to Europe has in Mexico. Let's take a look at the standings real quick. They're really hard to comprehend because there's teams with 7 games, with 8 games, 9 games, and 10 games. So it's
Sobre tus
confusing.
cocos,
But
Super.
we got
¿Cómo?
Toluca. No llores, super. We got Toluca, Monterrey, Tigres, and Tijuana in the first four. So the Tijuana to me is a surprise, like we talked about it earlier. Out of those teams, Monterrey, Tijuana, and Toluca have the most games. Tigres has 8, so they might be able to climb up a few steps. Then we got right now in the repechaje, America, Necaxa, Puebla, Pachuca, Santos, who's playing right now, and they're winning 2-1, so they might climb up that ladder. Juarez, Mazatlan, and Leon, and eliminated surprisingly 3 of the big 4. Pumas, San Luis, Atlas, Cruz Azul, Guadalajara, Querétaro. So right there, the 3 that surprised me is Pumas, Cruz Azul, and Guadalajara, and also Atlas because they're the current champions. I didn't expect them to do that bad. But Pumas has 7 games, so they might also climb up the ladder. Guadalajara, well, super. Let's hope they do too. Any surprises on this standings?
Yeah, I mean
Well,
Tijuana, them so high. But here's the thing about these standings, like it's so early, like things are gonna change. We're gonna see some teams fall off, and like you're saying, there's a lot of games in hand, so that's gonna change things as well. So I don't think we should take too much into this, but yeah, Tijuana being up there is definitely a surprise.
yeah, I definitely agree with Don Ramon. Even Necaxa, that being in 7th place right now, it's a team that you're not used to seeing over there. And yeah, the disappointments are Cruz Azul and Atlas.
At the championship hangover con el Atlas.
Oh yeah.
I think at this point they can kiss their tricampeonato goodbye. Let's take a look at the round 10 schedule and see let's see what you guys have for predictions. So we'll start with Ramon and then Super, and then I'll go after. So Friday, Necaxa against Chivas. Super.
Oof, another tie for Chivas. 1-1.
Ramon.
I don't know, man. I think the way Chivas is playing, I want to go with Necaxa, so I'll probably take them on Friday.
I think this is the time where Chivas wakes up and they get their first victory of the season. 1-0. Gana las Chivas.
Hijo.
Querétaro against Tijuana. Super.
Well, Tijuana sigue enrachado 2-0.
Ramon.
Yeah, same score actually. Yeah, Tijuana takes that.
I think va a haber goleada. So 4-0 gana Tijuana. Querétaro.
Oof.
Then we got el Clásico Regio. Good game. I think it might be the best game. Oh, we have America Cruz Azul. So America against Cruz Azul and Monterrey against Tigres are probably the best games of the weekend. But let's see. Super Monterrey against Tigres.
Uf, Tigres 2-1.
Ramon.
I think Monterrey takes this one. Yeah, 2-1.
I think it's gonna be a tie. Interesting game, but it's gonna end up in a tie. 2-2. Atlas against Puebla. Super.
Tie 1-1.
Ramon.
I think well Puebla's been playing really good. They got Josie Altidore who got a nice goal last week, so I'm gonna take Puebla.
Yeah, I think Puebla's gonna beat Atlas as well. 2-1. Super América Cruz Azul.
2-1 America.
Ramon. Easy game, huh?
America, honestly, I feel like they're gonna score 3 again, 3-0 for Cruz Azul. I'm sorry, for America. Van a ver, eh?
3 goals for Cruz Azul.
Cruz Azul is
Pero en
doing
su
worse than
propia
Pumas.
portería.
Tres de Funes Mori.
Como caigan.
No, I think it's gonna be a 1-0. America wins. Se van a calmar un poquito con los goles. Juárez Mazatlán. Super.
I think Mazatlan 2-1.
Ramon.
That's gonna be a boring game. It's like a 0-0. I don't see him having a good game.
Mazatlan is kind of waking up. I think Mazatlan wins 1-0. Los Super Pumas juegan contra Santos. That's also doing good stuff. Super.
6-0 Santos. Oh, no es cierto. All right, lo dejamos
Ya
en
quisieras,
3-0
ya
otra vez.
quisieras. 3-0. Ok, Ramon.
3-0 otra vez.
Man, Sunday morning against Santos. I mean, Santos are winning right now, so I don't know. I'd say 1-0 Santos.
I agree with Super 3-0, but Pumas is the one that scores those 3 goals.
Not biased at all.
Perdón. Pensé que dijo una broma.
No, esto va en serio, Super. Ok, San Luis against Toluca.
Toluca.
Toluca, Chorizo
3-1.
Power.
How much?
3-1.
Toluca, 3-1, said Super?
3-1. And Ramon, you also think Toluca?
Yeah, I think Toluca takes that pretty easily. Maybe like
Yeah.
3-1, something like that.
Same. Toluca wins 2-1. And the last one, Pachuca, que viene de dolido. Y apparently León too, because they're losing. Super.
Empate entre los hermanos a 1-1.
Ramon.
Yeah, León, I don't know if they're doing that well, but I don't trust Pachuca either. I think they had a really bad game against America this on Wednesday. So yeah, it's like I don't know. I'd like a 1-1 draw. I wouldn't trust any of those teams.
Yeah, I think Pachuca viene lastimado more than León, so I think León's gonna take it, pero no por mucho. It's just gonna be a 1-0, and it's not gonna be that interesting. So those are the games for the round 10 with 2 great games, those clásicos. So it should be definitely an interesting weekend. And so we are pretty much in the midway of the tournament, and I would want to know what your predictions are for the rest of the tournament. Who's gonna maybe take it? Who's gonna be the surprise? Who's gonna end up falling apart? Any predictions that you guys might have for the second part of the tournament? Starting with you, Ramon, because we had Super first on the predictions. So we'll start with you.
First of all, America agarra la 14. This is the year, baby. La 14. There we go. And then I'm gonna say this. Since Super is here, I feel Chivas is gonna turn it around and they're gonna sneak into the playoffs, like 11, 12th place. They're gonna be able to make it. But are they gonna get bounced out in the first round? Yes, but they're gonna make the playoffs.
Me salió comediante Don Ramon today. No, I think that I think Tigres could be a good contender. I'm gonna give it to Tigres for this tournament.
Okay, I mean,
Y América se queda ahí en el camino, semifinales.
no veo al America being a strong contender. I'm not gonna be wild enough to say they're gonna take it, but I think they're gonna make it to the final, and that final is gonna be against Toluca. That would be a really good final, in my opinion, especially because Toluca is doing good things. Pumas is gonna make it to Liguilla,
to the final,
like usual. Not to Toluca, America, and Pumas in the final. No, I think Pumas at least is gonna make it to the semifinals. They have a good team, and they just gotta get their stuff together. And another surprise that I want to see is Tijuana and making it to the Liguilla.
To the
so
final.
I think, yeah, los cuatro en la final.
Los cuatro la final, yeah.
So yeah, those are my predictions. Tijuana and Pumas in semifinals, and then America, I guess, making it to the final. Any last comments, Super, before we take off?
No, ojalá que no haya más lesiones para la selección, ¿verdad? And that's about it. I think we don't want to see si ya de por sí pensaba que no iban a pasar la primera ronda. I think that now even with more injuries, las cosas se van a poner feas. Hey, but it's la federacion's fault.
Es su culpa que se rompió la pierna el Tecatito.
Ay, super. Yeah, final thoughts. I'm hearing rumors. El Chucky Lozano se va al Manchester United. I don't think it's going to happen, but it's always nice to dream, right? So we'll see what happens with that. And yeah, on Saturday, that's when the Mexican ladies, the under 20 Mexican group, will be playing against Spain. So if you have some time, support women's soccer. Make sure to support our ladies out there, and hopefully they can get the result.
I did hear about El Chucky, and that news would have been super exciting maybe 5-6 years ago. But right now, with how Manchester United is doing, it does concern me. It does concern me that that Chucky would end up there. But okay, well, that's all for today, guys. Don't forget to tune in next week at the same time, and enjoy soccer. Nos vemos la próxima semana.